Okay guys, we're here again with our G87 M2. This is phase 2, which is more of an aesthetic focus. Phase 1, we took you guys through the proper spacers for stock wheel setups, which was the 12 and 15 and the 15 and 18 millimeter. A lot of customers have ordered those spacers on the website, precisionsport.com, so thanks a lot for that. Another part that we did was we did the ALS kit from AST, which is a sleeve kit, which goes on the factory shock, so you actually retain EDC, and it makes it adjustable. So it got rid of the wheel gap, which was super annoying. We also got rid of the black wheels, which a lot of people liked, and custom powder coated these TS5s. This is not a standard finish from Titan 7. It's actually a finish that I picked out with my powder coater. I wanted to have a gloss, lighter color finish to go with this blue. I just thought aesthetically it would work, and I think most of the people out there like it. I do have 3 other sets of wheels that we're actually gonna put on the car in the coming weeks until I get my forever wheels, and we'll talk about the forever wheels in another video. Now what we've done with the car, we've added all of the aesthetic pieces that are pretty much currently available. There's some other pieces available out there for the rear deck, but I'll talk about the rear deck later. What you guys will first notice is we put on the In-Performance carbon front lip. So it's actually 3 pieces. There's a piece that's on the right side, on the left side, and then a center piece. So it goes on in 3 center pieces. It's actually this blade, and it goes under the bumper. Now, I'm not a super big fan of this, but I had to do something with this gap that's there, and I do think it improves it. But I will say the carbon boxes that we added, which is what I call them, the inlets that are here on this side and on the other side, are actually the best thing we did for the bumper, because it adds aggressiveness to the intakes and adds that carbon weave, which is super nice, and it changes the look of the car from being a horizontal, like everything's horizontal. It adds that diagonal line there, which to me just totally changes the whole bumper. I think this is an upgrade. Some people really hate the front lip, so let us know in the comments what you think about the front of the car now with these upgrades. And if you look down the side of the car, there's a blade. So the blade that's there is the blade that matches this, but it's a side skirt. It's not even a half side skirt. It's like a 20% side skirt, which is super weird. I don't know what BMW was doing with that. The blade matches, and I think it matches well, but again, like, there isn't much out for the car. So it was important for me to show all of you guys out there what this looks like. And this stuff is pretty simple to install. We did take our time with it because it was the first time. There were some surprises with the installation that we'll get into in another video. Overall, I mean, the stuff is super high quality. It's perfect fitment, and it's perfect CF trim. I'm happy with it. Aesthetically, no, but quality, yes. Moving on to the back, the one thing that might be slightly not noticeable that we've done is we actually removed the lip that was on the trunk. It was like super bothering me, cut in at like a crazy aggressive angle. I actually hated it. I got rid of it because I didn't like it. I have the In-Performance lip that goes here, but I didn't like that either. So we actually put nothing on. One of the things that bothered me was BMW wouldn't let me order the tall wing, which everyone sees and really doesn't like, but I have a unique way we're going to install it. So I've been trying to get the high wing from BMW. It's currently blocked. The other part that's blocked that I can't get is the rear diffuser, the carbon rear diffuser. So it's literally a replacement part for the gloss black. The gloss black looks good, but to me, it makes the car look cheap since the roof is carbon and we have all the carbon sides. I wanted to put the carbon diffuser on, also blocked. Our car does not have shadow line, I believe the package is called, or black line. It doesn't have the black exhaust tips, which I normally would always do. I would also do, you know, black M2 badge. I would also do black surround on this. To be honest, I really like the bright chrome and the satin. The badges on this car have a satin finish to them. I don't know where that came from, but they just are satin, the front and the rear. Actually goes well with the Zanzort blue, and I really like it. All right, another thing that we did aesthetically is we changed the DRLs on the car. I'm not a big light modifier type person. I don't really build custom lights. I don't really like changing the lights on my cars. When I saw these that kind of are lifted from the CSL and the M5 CS and also the GT3 and GT4 cars, I wanted them for this. So MS Plus sent us those. My guys at IND sent me that stuff, so appreciate that. And they're super easy install. They actually totally replace the OEM chip that's in the light module, which is behind the light. So super easy install, and it makes a night and day difference. So you guys can find the DRL yellow upgrade from MS Plus, which actually is a light module. You can find that on the Precision Sport website, along with all the other parts here on the M2. All right, so another thing that you can't actually see, this has a PSI mid-pipe for M2. And the mid-pipe is actually different. It's not exactly the same. It's very, very similar, but it's not the same. It requires different fabrication to make it. I mean, that's on the car. Actually louder than the G81. I think because the car has a smaller muffler and it has less sound deadening. So in the car, she has a better tone. We were at the dyno earlier and we have some videos. We're gonna put a preview at the end of the video of how the mid-pipe sounds. But I really think it's a must-do on these cars because because to me, this is like more of a boy racer car compared to the G80's refinement, that it needs to be louder. You need to be able to hear the crackles and the pops, which some people hate about these cars. I think it adds more character to the M2 specifically. So I think it's definitely an upgrade that is a must. And then, you know, later on down the road to talk about exhaust, we're going to be working with a Akrapovic again. We actually the first Akrapovic in the world coming for this car, which we're going to have probably in about 4 to 6 weeks. So anybody that's questioning what can my car make with the mid-pipe, we have a video releasing next Friday, which talks about the mid-pipe, talks about the horsepower and torque gains on the dyno. We're going to show you guys the dyno runs back-to-back, stock versus PSI mid-pipe, as we did with the G80. I would expect similar gains, possibly more. You guys have to tune in to see next week, next Friday on our release. The last thing I wanted to get into are the upgrades that we did with the engine bay, aesthetically and kind of some technical pieces that we installed. So let's take a look over there. All right, so under the hood, the first thing I got rid of is the plastic engine cover, which annoys me possibly more than the wheel gap. No, possibly not, but it annoys me a lot. The other thing that's super annoying to me about this car is the strut tower brace. It's like a pot metal. I don't know where they found the metal for it, but it looks super cheap, even in a $67,000 M2, because the G80 has it, and the G80 that we had, like the Santorini G80, was like a $117,000 sticker, and they have a pot metal strut tower brace and a plastic engine cover. So see you later. We went with these. This is an Eventuri engine cover, which continues the design over on this side of it, really that covers up more of the plastic that's under here for the S58. And this is actually a Kies Motorsport strut tower brace, which Brian sent me. Brian's a super close friend. We talk a lot. He was like, you have to try this out. And we tried it. It's super nice. It's super matchy with the carbon fiber engine cover. So we really liked how it came together, and actually has adjustable preload on it, which is something that is super cool if you want to change the, you know, the tightness of the chassis and all of that. But it's also really nice because it's all anodized black aluminum 2x2 structural carbon fiber. It again elevates the look of the engine bay, which most people would want. But also when we put the Eventuri on here, which will replace all of this plastic that you see, that's going to really tie it all in, and it's going to be kind of a nice cohesive look with the carbon. I'm not really a super carbon fiber person that wants to have everything in carbon fiber, but I think in the right places, in the right touches, especially with the engine bay, it really adds to the quality of the car, and it's really something that BMW should have had. Maybe not carbon intakes, but maybe something better. It doesn't matter, because what BMW doesn't want to do, we'll fix. All right, so that sums up the video and the breakdown of phase 2 of the M2. And I want to remind you guys that you can find all of these parts that are on the M2 on our website, precisionsport.com. And we have a bunch of videos planned that we're filming every day for the M2. We're going to swap out the wheels. Next Friday is the mid-pipe video where we're going to show it on the dyno. You guys are going to hear the sound of the mid-pipe, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And we're just going to walk everyone through all the different mods. I've been contacted by a lot of companies, a lot of aero companies, a lot of wheel companies that want to work with us on this. Another video coming out which talks about the PSI brake pads and what I did with that, because I'm already annoyed by the brake dust on the wheels, and I've only had the wheels on for 2 days. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell, and we'll see you next time.